What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. I apologize for not posting a video in about a month, but we have been busy. If you could see behind me, this is a brand new 40 by 60 shed. Been super busy with that. I'll give you guys a tour maybe in another video, but there's gonna be a lot of videos shot in this building. I'm sure of it. So stay tuned for that. If you guys are new to the channel, I appreciate you tuning in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. In today's video, we're gonna be doing a Bobcat European mount. All the credit goes to Whitebone Creations from YouTube. I did exactly what you guys did. Didn't know how to do this, so I YouTubed it, and you guys are here. So I'm gonna do his method. Hopefully everything works out. I got all the stuff that you need that he recommends: OxyClean, Mop and Glow. I got Clear 40 hair salon product, but it's 40% peroxide, but I ended up getting the cream, and I'm really supposed to have the clear, but they didn't have any, so I have 30% clear. I'm gonna try it with the cream. If the cream don't work, I'm gonna use the 30%. Then I got some Gorilla Glue to glue the jaw back. But again, Whitebone Creations, check him out. He's got a pretty big following. So we're gonna get started here. I got my propane set up. I got my pressure washer hooked up. So we're gonna boil this for 5 minutes in just water with a little bit of OxyClean. Then we're going to take it out, pressure wash it, put it back in there with the Clear 40, take it back out after it comes to a boil and simmers for a bit, and then pressure wash it again, and then we'll see where we're at, see if we have to put it back in there for another color. At the end, we put Mop and Glow on it to give it that shine, and then I'm gonna make this cool little stand. I kind of have an idea in my head how I'm gonna display this. So stay tuned guys, you ain't gonna wanna miss this video. Alright guys, I want to give you fair warning. The images you're about to see are disturbing. This Bobcat was taken legally and ethically here in the state of Illinois. I was lucky enough to draw a tag last year. I made a two-part video series if you guys haven't seen that. One was setting the traps, and two was when I actually caught this 32-pound male Bobcat in a trap on January 2nd. I was fortunate enough, thanks to my buddy Zach, for helping me out with that. But I do want to inform you again that this is graphic. I'm holding in my hand a skull to that Bobcat. We're gonna give this European mount a try, so stay tuned. All right guys, so we got the skull in there, we got the OxyClean in there. We're gonna let this come to a boil and then turn it on low and let it simmer for about 5 minutes. And then we will pressure wash it off. All right guys, now we're gonna hit it with the pressure washer. All right guys, so a little update. I boiled it, the water actually boiled over, so I had to hurry up and turn it down. I pressure washed it, it wasn't ready, so I put it back in there. Came to a boil, I pressure washed it again, and I got about 75% of the meat off. The other meat's not coming off real easy, so I'm gonna do it again, bring it to a boil, let it simmer a little bit longer, and then knock out about 90% of the meat, and then separate the jaw from the skull, clean it up real good, clean the skull up real good, and then it'll be ready for the other stuff. All right guys, round two. We got almost all the meat off, so it's looking pretty good. white bone creation makes this look real easy. But we got quite a bit of meat off there. Got some new water in. I'm gonna put this 40% peroxide in there with it and bring it to a boil and let it sit. Like I said, this is really supposed to be clear, not cream. So I don't know how this is gonna work out. All right guys, so one thing I noticed is that the skull keeps wanting to come up. A little tip for you. Just get some forceps or something to hold that down. Bobcat skull is real brittle, so you gotta be careful with like the teeth and stuff, but this one seemed to have fairly strong teeth. It's a messy job though. Wear old clothes. We're gonna bring it to a boil, then we'll let it simmer for about 5 minutes, take it out. It's starting to boil now. Now we'll back the heat off a little bit. If this don't end up working, I'm gonna change the water. I'm gonna pressure wash it, and if it's not as white as I want, I'm gonna change the water and put the 30% peroxide clear in and do this again. And then that'll just have to do. We're supposed to do 50% water, 50% peroxide, and he prefers the 40% clear. Like I said, they didn't have that. They only had the 40% cream. So I just kind of stirred it around and made it my own liquid. We're gonna let this sit for about 5 minutes and then hit it with the pressure washer. All right, now the 30%. Can't hurt. All right, finally getting to a boil at 30% liquid developer. Got the forceps there, holding the skull down. So we will back the heat off and let it simmer there for about 5 minutes and pressure washer again, and then we're gonna say that it's as good as it's gonna get. All right guys, last time with the pressure washer. All right guys, now that we got the Bobcat skull completely cleaned of any meat, and I have it as white as I can get it, I'm gonna sit it out in the sun, let it dry, then I'm gonna hit it with some Mop and Glow. All right guys, so there's the Mop and Glow, the Gorilla Glue clear, and I ended up getting some American Walnut stain for the stand I'm about to build. The skull is in the sun drying, so we're gonna get started on the stand now. All right guys, so I got, I believe this is a 1x6 piece of pine left over from the build. I also have this rod that was left over from building my house. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut a square, probably about a 4-inch square base, and then figure out how high I want it, probably somewhere in there. We'll go about 6.5 inches, 6.5 inches. I'm gonna end up cutting it at a 45-degree angle at the top. Then I will cut another base. And I haven't decided how I'm gonna do this. This is what the skull is gonna sit on up top. I've had ideas where I cut out the state of Illinois with a jigsaw, or I could cut out like a triangle or just a football shape like the head of the Bobcat. Or another cool idea is I could make like an arrowhead with a jigsaw. Either way, I'm gonna round the edges, sand it up real good, and stain it. Should turn out pretty nice. So. All right, so I got my angle cut on there. Now the cat's gonna sit, cat skull. Now I'm gonna cut this, the base. I'm gonna drill a pilot hole in this. Now I will find the center. So now we have our base and our platform. I just gotta make sure that that is straight. Now I need to go get the skull, kind of measure, see how big of a square, triangle, or circle I want, and go from there. All right guys, so this skull turned out really good actually. Super clean, it's dry. I'm going to put some glue on it, and I'm gonna glue the jaw onto the top. Then I will measure it real quick. So we're gonna just dab this on there. All right, so we got the glue on there. I'm just gonna kind of hold it right here and measure out about how big this needs to be. I imagine it might. That's about perfect. So I just need basically a replica of the top. I think it was 4 inches I ended up doing. Cut that real quick, and then we'll figure out what we're gonna do. Well, this will go on there like that. Come to find out, my jigsaw blade is bad, so that makes the decision easier. I guess it's just gonna be a square. Originally, the angle I cut was 45. It was too steep, so I went with a 22.5, and I liked it a lot better. Yeah, I think I like that a little better. Okay, find the center of this one. Another cool thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write the date on the bottom of this after I sand off my marks I made. Hopefully I don't go through the other side. There. All right, guys. There it is. I'm gonna hit it with the sander. Then I might have to put like a little tack or something to kind of hold it up, and then that'll be that. And I thought I was done wearing these masks. Alright guys, so I knocked the pencil marks off, rounded the edges, knocked off all the burrs, and made it look super nice. I can get some wood putty and fill. I won't really have to worry about that one, but I could do that to make it just look nicer. I should probably take that off. There's some writing right there, but other than that, I think she's just about ready for stain. Give that a good shake. I'm just going to put it on with a paper towel. Hope I don't make too much of a mess. Oh, you gotta go with the grain. Wow, that turned out. That makes a nice color. Really nice color. Look at that color. It's really showing good. Alright guys, there's the first coat. I think we're going to leave it just like that. I'm going to have to come back when it dries and hit the bottom real quick. So we're going to give the skull time to dry, and then we'll give this time to dry. The top is pretty much dry. I'm going to finish the bottom here real quick. I think it turned out really nice. Alright guys, so that is the finished product. There's the finished product, guys. If I can do this, you can do this. All right, there it is. All right, guys, there you have it. I appreciate you guys watching. I think it turned out awesome. This is a real simple DIY. Again, shout out to Whitebone Creations.